The specific purpose of the Ramapo project is to bring all media facilities under one roof.
As a project begins, we always want things to move fast, but sometimes the reality is that it doesn't happen as fast as we would like it to.
It's been several years of some pretty dynamic planning, and we've seen a lot of twists and turns and changes along the way.
We've had a number of challenges on the Ramapo project. In the state of New York, there's only a certain season where you can take trees down.
We're only allowed to remove trees between November and the end of March.
And the town board approved the special permit for us to be able to cut the trees. However, when we went to exercise that permit, we realized that another agency still had to give their permission for us to be able to use it, which we didn't get.
Originally, we had planned about 12 weeks to do all of this work.
And that 12 weeks included using mechanized equipment.
If that wasn't accomplished, we would be waiting an entire year to be able to cut those trees. Well, the window started closing from 12 weeks to 8 weeks, all the way down to 6 weeks.
And then somehow something in the permitting language opened our eyes to a new possibility that allowed us to take the trees down in a different way.
We got permission to cut the trees, but we had to cut the trees all by hand.
And in 4 weeks, we used an outside contractor to take down all the trees that we needed.
2 weeks early of the end of the tree cutting season.
Every single day, there's still much work to be done to get us the needed permits. The design is continuing. The estimating for the project is continuing. That hasn't stopped. That hasn't slowed up one bit.
Because of some of the delays that we experienced, there was a need to reassign some of our brothers and sisters within the organization.
We had these willing volunteers. They were skilled, they were trained, they were willing to do whatever was needed, but we just didn't have the work for them at the time. We were able to communicate with different departments in the branch, at headquarters, and it just so happened that many of these departments had been praying for additional help.
The brothers had a meeting with us and they said, we know you're not 100% busy like you want to be. We'll be giving a number of you new assignments. Most of you, you'll go out for a while we get our permits and come back.
They said that I would be going into CDE, and I didn't even know what that was. Computer Department Engineering. And I thought, that's way above me. I'm a construction girl. But actually, I've loved it. I've learned so much. And the team that I've worked with, I've gotten close to them, and it's been a wonderful change. It's really shown us that Jehovah's going to take care of us.
For us to be at Ramapo was one of the most amazing privileges we've ever had, but we're still working for Jehovah and right in the center of his organization.
These brothers and sisters are real men and women of faith, helping to advance kingdom interest in all these other areas. Obviously, when we hit some of these points where maybe we were waiting on approvals, the work did not stop.
The time has allowed us to work with the Bethel departments, to work with the governing body committees, to work with our outside expert audio-video design teams. And so because of that, the buildings themselves have changed.
It was looked into how could flexible spaces be created, and also how could some of these spaces be shared, maybe between different departments, to make the best use of the property that we have.
The art department will be in the same building with the other aspects of media, the audio part and the video part, so that when we need to collaborate, it'll be much easier to work together so that we can make the very best possible product.
It's a state-of-the-art audio, video, and art production facility. The process of designing that and getting it to stay ahead of not only the ever-changing technologies that we see in the industry, but also the needs for the organization. It's a dynamic process.
The facility has been designed and will be constructed in such a way that if modifications need to be made later to keep up with technology, we won't have to deconstruct the building in order to implement those changes. We've developed beautiful studios that will be functional not only now, but also for future projects.
One exciting feature of the Media Center will be the use of video walls for virtual production. In fact, we've already begun filming with this new technology here at Patterson. With these video walls, we can create digitally backgrounds that can be used to give the appearance that we are shooting it in a foreign location.
The governing body made it very clear that their focus was the spirituality of those who are involved in our productions. If the friends have to be off-site for long periods of time filming, it can really disrupt their spiritual routine. Virtual production will allow us to reduce the need to travel or to even work hours that could interfere with spiritual activities. There's some circumstances that arise that can sometimes limit our ability to travel to another location. But with the use of the video wall, we won't be stopped. Video production will continue in the studio.
Now we'll be able to custom make some backgrounds that actually look like Bible lands.
And we're very confident, with Jehovah's blessing, that this new state-of-the-art facility will result in tremendous savings, efficiency, as we continue to produce beautiful video artwork to the benefit of the Brotherhood. But now that video that you saw was actually a while back, a little time ago. We have some late-breaking news events to share with you since then. When you saw in the video the trees cut down, they were just lying haphazardly, weren't they? With snow on the top. But since then, contractors have been very busy removing the trees, taking them out, clearing the site in preparation for other work that will come, and all of this preceding this huge construction project that is looming just ahead. So we captured some of that work, and we also are bringing you up to date with a flyover video clip. So we want to show you this now, so it'll bring you even further up to date as to how things are looking. So you saw the trees being removed. You saw carving out the entrance there in the hillside. So a lot of exciting things are happening. Now soon contractors are going to begin blasting away large underground rock formations to prepare the site for further site work. And according to our current time schedule, and I think you'll be interested to know this, at the late summer of 2024, just a few months from now, we plan, Jehovah willing, with Jehovah's blessing, we're going to call in many more volunteers to help us to move this project forward speedily. But dear brothers and sisters, please remember to pray for Jehovah's blessings on these efforts. But now, as we said, we had another update, and that's concerning the exciting project that is going on in Australia. And as you know, it's the series of dramas entitled The Good News According to Jesus. Please enjoy this video update.
Now we'll be able to custom make some backgrounds that actually look like Bible lands.
And so, the Good News According to Jesus project is the perfect candidate for the use of virtual production. A video wall will be installed and ready for use at the Australasia branch in early 2024.
There's many formats out there in the world of Jesus' life and how it's depicted, but our film is so accurate. The research and effort that's gone into it has made it so close to the Bible. It's going to make such a difference. They're going to see Jesus, what he was truly like. It's going to affect hearts, and it's really going to help them to see Jehovah as well.
As we've been working with the Good News According to Jesus project, we've run into a few challenges, to say the least.
Right from the start, we had fires, we've had floods, we've had a pandemic.
Due to a number of restrictions that were taking place at the time, things were delayed. There even came a point where it just completely stopped.
We did wonder how we were going to be able to produce this video in the time frames that we needed to do so.
We had to pick and choose which scenes that we had to shoot first because construction was trying to keep up with our film schedule. So trying to manage those two together was quite difficult.
Some of the challenges also are depicting miracles. How are you going to depict some of the various illnesses and diseases?
How to film scenes like the miraculous catch of fish and Jesus walking on water in a realistic way.
It's a weighty responsibility, but there's also the amazing joy of being able to learn more about Jesus just through the process of trying to put it on film.
The Bible accounts that we're trying to depict involve a lot of animals. We know it was part of the culture at the time, so we're really trying to incorporate that into this production.
We've had donkeys, sheep, pigeons, and even camels here at the branch on set.
They need to be trained to work with actors, trained to be ridden. They need to be familiarized with the sets. You actually start to see a bond established between the animals and the actors. Fortunately, many of our brothers and sisters that work in farmlands in rural Australia had many of these animals that they were willing to make available for us. There's a sister in a nearby rural congregation that has volunteered to help raise the pigeons that we're going to use in the temple scenes and other areas.
The sheep love to be around kids, and they love to be around the cast members, and it really does make a difference.
All of those animals essentially lend themselves to the realism of the sets that we're in and help bring the Bible accounts to life.
So one particular episode required the Judean wilderness. After reviewing a few options here within the country of Australia, we saw that it wasn't as feasible as we would have liked for it to be. After presenting the information to our brothers in oversight, we got a response that we didn't anticipate. They came back asking, what about Israel? A small crew traveled to Israel and actually filmed in the real Judean wilderness. The local branch office provided support. A number of scenes were filmed, and now when we're reviewing the material, we see Jehovah blessing that arrangement.
The backlot is a huge film set.
It has 5 historical areas. We have the temple area and the temple slab, Jerusalem area, there's Cana or Galilee, and then there's Capernaum, including a little beach area, and Nazareth. The backlot has roads, mounds, just landscapes so that we can have a variety of filming.
It was designed in a way where you can point the camera anywhere. So it just helps you immerse yourself into the story and the life of Jesus.
This is a world that you've never seen before.
What's different about those sets there in Australia than we're typically using here is they have to last a lot longer. To cover the entire span of the gospel accounts requires many, many years of recordings.
The brothers and sisters, they've shown amazing skill, and they've worked through some very challenging conditions. We've had heat, we've had rain, it's been dusty out here, it's been muddy at times, but they've worked through all of it. And whilst the end product is this beautiful set, it's going to bring the ministry of Jesus Christ to life in an incredibly realistic way.
While construction was going, a contractor came in to the back lot to see the construction brothers.
He spoke to one of the brothers in tears and asked, what was this all about? And we explained what we were trying to achieve. And with tears, he said, I come from Israel, and this looks just like my home.
Seeing someone who has no idea about this project to come in and see how accurate it was really shows me how Jehovah's really looking after this project.
It isn't any one of us that have made this a success. It's Jehovah the whole way.
As we study these Bible accounts and figure out ways to bring them to life on the screen, It's teaching us to get into the motivations of who these people were. Our goal is to take them from being just characters in black and white on the printed page into real people that you're going to know and love for the rest of your life.
Roll camera, roll audio.
And action.